Sorry, Mr. Ziegler, I'm gonna have to turn you down a little bit there. Hello. You've been betrayed, you're on your phone and you have no crispy emojis. What? What? I mean, you should still have a couple. You're not gonna have the better Twitch TV ones, but you should still have these. I forgot I added the crow. Hi, how are we doing? Only the pass which is locked. That's very unfair. There should at least be an M which is locked as well. Yeah, why did that not work for Ragdoll? Oh no, because that was at the end of a sentence. Yes. Maybe it's just a feature. I mean, I think follower emotes are in beta at the moment, so maybe they just don't work on mobile. Either way, how dare? How dare Twitch? It's just rude. The height of rudeness. Anyway, hello. Hello, Chibi. Hello, Ragdoll. Hello, Myths. How are we all doing? I almost said Chibi twice there. We doing well? I haven't put my microphone in the right position. I'm going to mute myself while I move it. Glad I did. I whacked it against the desk. How are we all doing? How's the beginning of your weeks? Twice as important as everybody else. Twice the importance, half the stature. We're doing good. You having a good week? You haven't had dinner, you're hungry. That's not good. Did your dad throw it away again? Yeah. So, streams. I'm reliably informed they happen. I'm unreliably informed that I'm in charge of them. So, now you're waiting for ingredients. Okay. You're waiting for them to grow? Might be a while. So we're doing 16 symbols. We're here. A friend got you to watch a show and you're obsessed with one of the characters. What else is new? Oh no. What's the show? Entertain you. Hi, Kiro. Well, I've never been one for entertaining people. I just stand here and waffle on and doodle. Yeah, speaking of which. Whoosh. 16 symbols. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's a bit cooler over there now. We're doing 16 symbols. It's a thing. So last time on 16 symbols, Team Shrimp, the left-hand team, as you can see on the top, climbed a mountain under the instruction of Viv, the recently, I was going to say rehabilitated, but it's probably more accurate to say beaten, villain, who's revealed that this poison nurse character that's doing a lot of stuff, some sort of weird mysterious stuff. She showed us to the shrine, which was all ransacked, but we found some information, and apparently there's a lab on the side of a mountain, here it is, which we're going to go visit, because that's where she's been doing some secret stuff. So we get in there, we have a fiddle around, we start reading things in books, finding family portraits, and triggering traps. Peridot triggers a trap, and we end up in prison. Poison Nurse does their evil monologue thing, as villains tend to, and is very surprised to learn that we don't actually know what they're doing. We're just here to try and work out what it is. Poison Nurse just sort of assumed that, you know, we knew and that we were here to stop them. So, either way, they decide enough's enough. Had enough with this spoiled, good-for-nothing nurse who's taken all of the power from the hippo goddess healing thing. I know our story. I know how this goes. I know all the words. And so she says, okay, well, I can absorb power from people. I'm going to do that to you. Because screw you. And it turns out, oh no, something went wrong. And it didn't work. It backfired. So instead we get chucked down a pit and we're forced to attack shadow versions of our characters and the other characters in the game. For reasons I can't quite remember, but we needed a boss. So... The show is called Super Strikers. It's a cartoon about dumb football players, and you mean dumb in an affectionate way. Wonderful. You're convinced that at least half of the animation budget went into animating your favourite character's hair, and honestly, he deserves it. Wonderful. That's good you sent hi to. I've never once touched a drug, because quite frankly, I don't need it. I'm just always slightly woozy. In the words of Dylan Moran, if I want that sort of experience, I'll just get up out of a chair before I'm expecting it. So yeah, that's that. And then we went into a new location, as we see here, which is the hidden shrine in the mountain, the shrimp shrine, onto which the lab was built, as a kind of front. We decided that things were related to some kind of shrimp magic in the temple. Okay. So yes, we're going to a dangerous location, and immediately there's a boss rush. So we decided more shadow characters, more evil reflections. And I said, your homework is to design evil versions of your characters. And so far what we have is sewer beavers. Yeah, naturally, none of us did anything, myself included. And I have the most characters, which I think is egotistical. Shadowy Shrimp Shrine. Shrimp. Look, I'm bad at speaking at the best of times. Start throwing things like that in my mouth. Sewer beavers are very important. I don't even think it was this stream we were talking about that. I can't... When did that come up? I can't remember when that came up. Anyway, yes, so I need to update the thingamabob. This is quite a long location, all things considered. And we rejoin with the other party at the end of this. Presumably we're going to walk away somewhere they don't turn up here. I don't know. Christy came up with it after Friends stream. Ah, right. Wasn't even on a stream, my word. Okay, so. Boss rush. And then 4 things we don't yet know. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then join. That work? There it is. Wonderful. That's the column we're looking at right now. Cool. Show Mr. Family picture. I can do. Don't have Discord open on this computer at the moment to save resources, but I will. Hey. That's zoomed in very far, thank you, computer. There we go. There's the version of the picture on the desk. You do not want to see sewer beavers, shadowy shrimp shrine. Cool. So this is the family of villains. For some reason, it took me until drawing this picture to realize that they were all villains. I don't know. I don't think of Grigori as a villain, really. Yeah. And if you support me on Patreon, you too can get a doodle like that every month for the low, low price of £8, dollars. I can't even remember the currency I set it up in, but anyway. He's not a minion, villain minio. He just commits tax fraud, which is not really villainy. Hungry. That's fairness. Yeah, okay. So I suppose we're gonna draw boss rush time. Boss rush of all other characters as shadow versions. We decided that Brad's would be burnt. Be on fire. I think I just did that for the hair, to be honest. What else would we? I think we also said Stoker would be on fire. Most of the characters would be on fire. Okay, so we're gonna do. I guess we're gonna do all the characters who aren't in the party. Because I think the idea here, that's the wrong pencil. That's better. Yeah, I think the idea here is, I can't remember who said it. Probably, I think it might have been Ragdoll. Who said that having Mo fight against Brad is a kind of trying to accentuate her feeling bad for dragging him along this adventure when he didn't want to. And now you got to fight him face to face, even though it's just an illusion. It's still a sort of semi-emotional sort of thing. So maybe it's all playing on the insecurities of the characters. Grigori tries to convince everyone he's not a villain. Schrodinger is not aware he's a villain, and Poison has fully embraced her villainy long ago. That's why she looks down on the rest of her family, as she's the only one who just knows. You're all idiots. We're villains. Get used to it. Is it she? Is Poison Nurse a she? I lost track of this quite a while ago. This character crops up once every 4 streams. I've drawn goggles or glasses pretty much all day today. And they're annoying. Wasn't that is a she? Okay, cool. I lost track. How could she look back on her brothers when she's the shortest? She has some very tall boots. Oops. Maybe that's something that Poisonous and Mo can bond over. I only really need the silhouette, don't I? Make it a little more generous. James Bond over. What? Schrodinger got her a step ladder that she can stand on whenever she feels the need to look down on them. That's nice. To be fair, we can't see anything of her form. Poisonous could be 5 Jabot in a trench coat, and we wouldn't know. Good for them. Oh, then the pronouns would get confusing, wouldn't they? Hey, is it them as in like the non-binary them, or is it them as in the plural them, or do each of the Jabots have like their own pronouns? It's difficult to keep track. You gotta try to make it look creepy, alright? So I was gonna go for a kind of like, I don't know, some sort of weird crying sort of thing. Again, trying to play on the insecurities of Mo. It's the only idea I have. Give them a hug. But Schrodinger and Grigori really could not care less about Poisonous looking down at them. Grigori's too busy running schemes and accidentally starting revolutions, and Schrodinger is Schrodinger. Or is he? Thinking a kind of pyramid head sort of thing going on. But with a shovel. Call that a knife? This is a shovel. Schrödinger. Let's be both until it's viewed. It's a good idea, especially if these boss fights are a mix of that backfire and shrimp magic. Yes. Just gonna. I like the idea that this is. This part at least is sort of bright, oddly white, sort of shimmering thing. A big sort of gaseous colon. Colon gonna have like oops. That'll do. One down, two to go. Is it going to be a dark onion? What a weird sentence. That's a tar. It's a coal tar. That's good for your hair. I mean, arguably Jethro is the easiest, right? Evil Scarecrow? That's not an original idea. I was going to do the whole, like I did with M during last October. Hanging on the thing, evil smile. Is this going to be a dark onion? Because people asked it. So, quote of the day. Do you think there should be a dark granny? You ever seen the game Granny? It's got a dark granny in it. It's an interesting little game. Terrible graphics. But yeah, creepy granny. Yeah, dark granny makes sense. That's good. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna go for something slightly different with Jethro. Because what would... I'm trying to think what insecurity there would be associated to Jethro, because Jethro is just sort of happy-go-lucky. It's just along for the ride. Being alone, fire. Crows. This is just going to look cool, it's not going to look evil. Related to failing to save the town? Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, that might affect Jethro, but I don't know how it will affect everyone else. What was that? Why did that come up? That's weird. Dark Jethro is just Scarecrow Schrodinger. Could be. Could we'll go for a metallic theme, maybe, rather than a organic one. Yeah. Is that gonna work? I don't know. The words we say here, sentences that will never be said anywhere else ever again in the entire history of the human race. Not sure how this is going to work as a silhouette. If these are Mo's insecurities made manifest by magic, a lot of M's, and wearing familiar faces maybe being related to that failure makes sense, perhaps. Good old spooky jack-o'-lantern. Headless Jethro, why not? You can have like a projectile fire attack coming from the head. It'd be great. Also slightly pained expression. Does Jethro have hair? I.e. some sort of grassy frond coming from the thing. From the top of the root veg. Yep, thought I would go wrong. Can I cheat? I cannot cheat. Yeah, now I can cheat. Cheating, cheating. Everyone loves the cheating. Now I should be using that other pencil. That's alright. Here comes the boy. Hello there. You think of that off the top of your head? And I appreciate the pun, but I think it should be apparent at this point that I have no plans. Originally, I was going to have him holding it like Horatio, but I thought of the fronds. Think of the fronds! Oh, head low there. I missed that. Whoops. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. That's how the song goes, right? Onion. Do we do an evil onion? They're optional, but I guess if you have an optional character, you get an optional boss. There's also Fu. But he's also an optional character. You vote Evil Fu instead, yeah? How many arms does Evil Fu have? First thing that came to my mind. More to work with story-wise, yeah. Onion is literally just a kleptomaniac robot. That's it. That's all that's going on there. And sometimes that's all you need. I feel like once all this is over, Onion and Schrodinger will become friends. Onion doesn't need to be more. Indeed. So what would Evil Fu be? Fu be? Sounds like a word, but it isn't. What's this? It's happy. That's better. Oh, I could do a better job if I tried. But that involves trying. Evil Fu, many arms. So what would be the driving force behind Evil Fu? Shush, it's good. You dumb. I don't know. I'm just gonna draw lots of arms. Sorry. You dumb. Affection. I got it. I just find it funny. Shush, it's good. You dumb. It's gonna be one of those. I save myself some time here. Well, sort that out in a bit. It's going to look weird if that's symmetrical. More goggles. There, we can sort this out now. Oops. There's his friend. This is Dark Fu. I haven't drawn all the arms yet. Who is Fu? Fu is who? Fu is the four-armed friend from the Resistance, who was in the party, but now isn't, because he got a bit burnt. Ah, the scaling triangle. I love leaving stuff like that in the bot, because we just all forget it's there. And then it sneaks up on you. This person. Bleh. If you recall. I can't even remember where that came from. Ah, the scaling triangle. Probably a meme or something. You remember? His old man, he threw out his back fighting fires. There were fires. This is gonna have to be smaller than it is. This is gonna have to be even smaller than it is. Probably XCOM. A lot came out of XCOM. It's because it was a long series. So long it spanned the transition between platforms of streaming.
Who's that Pokemon?
Who's that? Ah! More kind of use the bigger pencil so I don't have to push so much. That means I don't put as much pressure on my thumb. Okay, that's 4. Six? Do you know your 2 times tables, kids? So long the dog got married and became a widower. Yeah. Harry, Kevin, Jesse. I think it was Jesse. The original idea was sort of towering over you, and now it just looks like it's sort of falling forwards. No, we summoned him! No! Quick, no one mentioned the war. The XCOM war. Oh, bugger, I mentioned it. Yeah, the perspective doesn't quite work out how I originally anticipated. Look at him, it's tiny! Tiny little fool. Rip Kevin. Okay, that's that. And I guess the climax of this, as I think Ragdoll said was some sort of evil bonk. But a stick figure for scale. Mo's identity is firmly entrenched with that backpack now. It's a big one. It's arching over you, going like that. All the arms are the same size. That helps. It's difficult to draw perspective on something that's a shadow, you know? It's tricky. Yes. And so the story goes. Why did I do that? I did that on its own layer. Where does this go? Ah, it goes there. Yeah, it's like a jigsaw. It's on its own layer. I can just move it around. Don't know why I tried to lasso it. Cool. So, time for an evil bonk. How does evil bonk work? Angry hippo head. Hungry hippo head. Ah, sorry, just went to blow my nose. Apologies for the radio silence. Fusion of real hippo god form and bonk. Most just like, what's going on? Why is Granny a hippo? Poisonous is just off to the side going, you still haven't. Oh, for God's sake. Right. And let me look up reference for a hippo because I consistently fail drawing a hippo. And no, I'm not doing Hip-October. Hungry hippos. The game that just isn't a game. It's just bang the thing as fast and as hard as you can. There's a hippo carrying a bunch of turtle. What's this? Cute. You also think beavers are sausages. You need to do real animal practice. It's just the one time. Now I know they're round friends and they live in sewers. So, okay. Don't know the word angry hippo. Internet. Yeah, angry hippos aren't scary things. Scary looking things. They're so round, like a sausage. Sausages are round. It all works out, see? They are round, not just in every dimension. Just not in just not in every dimension. So that's the thing. That's the thing that kind of I've encountered occasionally on the internet. People confusing the word round with circular. Like a lot of things are round. Circles are round. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, people saying that's not round. But yes, it is. It's just not circular. Sausages are round, they're just not spheres. Buy new spherical sausages, also known as meatballs. Get this head off my head. This instant. I can't see. You nerds and your technicalities. Don't take my technicalities away from me. It's the only things I have. It's all I've got. I have a PhD in pedantry and that's it. I like the howling wolf in the music that we're listening to. Makes me think that that's the sound this hippo's making. See, look, that's a sausage. That's what my sausages look like anyway. People say they're past their sell-by date. It's fine. It's just best before. Hippos, the deadliest of predators. They are. They kill a lot of people. Not sure what to do with the bottom half. Real talk, hippos are angry dicks. You add more teeth. This is the nightmare version. Yeah, this can kind of work. It's just that it swims through the ground. What? What? Did I miss a chunk of conversation? 'Cause 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 I miss a chunk of Does this thing have arms? Maybe. Tendrils. It's this thing's smouldering. The idea around here. Just wanted to continue the twiddliness of the hat, to be honest. Forgot what I said again. What did I say again? Dark Hippo looks like it's swimming through the ground. Okay. Exactly. We've had this conversation. I'm not responsible for what comes out of my mouth, nor indeed for remembering what comes out of my mouth. Yes. Look, here you are. You have this amorphous, coated, skirted thing. It just has sort of like torn fabric coming off it. It's all slightly singed. Able to make it look like torn fabric. Okay, let's move on. Always. I was going to do that anyway, but you dragged me back to things I said before. So here's an evil hippo witch. Don't know if that's what you came here to see. Please draw them for scale. All bosses are big in this game. Still don't know how we're beating these bosses, to be honest. We started off with this sort of idea of like, oh, we sort of outsmart the boss, so we find his weak point and all that sort of stuff because we just got a broom, so what are we actually attacking with? Now we're just taking on eldritch monstrosities as though it's nothing. The famous crispy shrugging pose is back. Yeah. I gotta go. Hope you have a good one. Hope all's well. Look after yourself, Kara. Have a good rest of the stream and good night. You too! FaceTime with niece, what'd you miss? That. Not even October yet, and we're drawing stuff like this. Don't worry about it, we'll figure it out in post. I do kind of have an idea for a video that sort of explores that, but... Have a good one, Kira, bye! Also, why didn't my bot reply to that with... Oh, it did, just after Chibi. Battle of Mental Fortitude. Yes, we're doing... This is a boss rush of evil shadow versions of other characters. Yeah. Some stuff there, and then big ol' hippo. Big ol' hippo in a burning dress. That might be one of the ones... You know, usually I say things and I'm like, no one's ever said that before and nobody will ever say it again. But that one, there's a possibility that might crop up again. So cool. Next symbol. Moving on. We've done a boss rush. We're now in the shrimp caves. Proper. And what do we find in the shrimp caves? Death. We find someone. There's just someone here. Is that Grandma Bonk? It's Evil Bonk, yes. No, yes. Who else is in prison here? Who's been trapped in this shrine? Design a character. Let's go. Should we see what the next symbol is to get some context to where this is going? Or... Golem. We found Golem. Next character, next, yeah, it's another one. It's another one. Please, they joined the party. Oh, and a MacGuffin. Fantastic. So we find a character and a MacGuffin. That makes sense in a shrine, shrimp shrine. We find some sort of MacGuffin. That's fair. Ideas. We can explore a little bit of the shrine just as a cutscene. We don't learn anything, because that would be plot, but we can wander around this place while we're trying to work out what on earth's happening. Yeah, I didn't think this would be easy. We've moved one symbol, that's all we've got. Jizbo? I'm sure about Jizbo. What if some sort of non-human sacrifice to shrimp god and they're like on the brink of death or something? Oh, okay. Well, there was an ineffective sacrifice. We found a goat character? You just wanted me to say it? Well, you succeeded. I love Twitch. It's telling me that 3 people are watching this. 4 people are talking. So... A non-human that was an early experiment to poison us is to suck magics out of non-human. Oh, I see. Okay. Clearly didn't succeed. And they were just sort of tossed down here or something. I don't even know what the shrine looks like. It's just in a cave system, as most shrimp things seem to be. That's where shrimps live, of course, in caves. Tossed out, escaped, but not fully escaped because they're too weak. According to Twitch, you just left as well. Chibi Netherlands is tossed out, escaped, but not fully escaped because they're too weak. User Chibi Netherlands left. Chibi Netherlands. Cave is near waterfall, it's fine. There's water in them there caves. Bye, Chib. Hope you have a good week. I came back to tell you it's fine. Okay, so again, the first thing that comes to my mind is goat. Sacrificial goat. Could be a lamb. Could be a trout. What counts as a good sacrifice? To a shrimp. Goat man? No. That was a pun. I didn't even realize it was a pun. Nanny goat. Nanny goat man. Okay. So weak goatman. Oh, that's what you thought too. Yeah. Did mean non-human is in sentient creature that's not human, so they have magic like bramble or gill or such, but animal also works. And bramble's an animal. Gill isn't, but... Maybe it was a familiar of someone the poisonous stole? Maybe. So it's just a goat? I mean, it's a character. It's got to be a character. That's the point. I should put the symbols up. New character. MacGuffin get. Hopefully that's not... Oh, no, that was fine. But it's... Oh, character meet, not new. Sorry. Sorry, past me. Anyway. Dog was a character. Shush. How dare you use my own terrible ideas against me? Chicken person? Splice between a familiar and people? Oh, are there like hybrid experiments going on here? This lab has a lot of secrets. Dogs are characters. It could be more than one. We don't have to meet one character, we could meet a whole load. This week's homework, design your own animal-human hybrid. There's an entire colony down here. And I guess they're hostile? This is a dangerous location. Draw a farm full of animal people. Hmm. We meet the sewer beavers that are squatting in the shrine. I mean, they could be here. I mean, we've already met the sewer beavers because we must have met them at the resistance place when we were first there. That's what we were talking about. You just had the idea of Schrodinger's familiar. Poison nurse stole one of her family members' familiars for her weird experiments. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, didn't give a think about, didn't give a thought, didn't give a thunk for Schrodinger's familiar. What would Schrodinger's familiar be? Don't say a cat. Ignorance turned into a plot point. We don't know what Schrodinger's familiar would be until we see it. A catfish. It's difficult to have a familiar of a catfish. You gotta stay near water. Schrodinger's familiar is Schrodinger's cat. Okay, so do I have to draw a cat? Or don't I? A box with cat written on it. Okay. I'm up for that. Can't believe out of all the good ideas we had, this is the thing I ended up drawing. Should guess, really, at this point. Shouldn't be a surprise. That's obviously the best idea. Could be a cat or a man with fake animal bits. It could be just a mass of tentacles that looks a bit like a cat. You don't know. In a box. Who knows? Question mark written on it. I like the idea that there's a bunch of things down here. So we won't just stick with that. Although I do like the idea that this is a character and that they speak perfectly clearly and have a very deep voice. You honestly didn't think Schrodinger was going to get brought back like this. Well, until we see how they interact with the story. Insert punchline here. Schrodinger's cat speaks more eloquently than Schrodinger. Almost certainly. Viewed off Schrodinger's wacky vibe, though. It seems nice. Unpleasant gurgling. Meow. Meow. That's what I'm trying to draw. My hands don't want it. Know what I want to draw, hands don't want it anymore. I've forgotten how to draw. This is just... Can I go back to drawing monsters? To which your response is, did you stop? Close enough. Why and how is the box slimy? It's in a cave. Got it some slack. Can't keep these things clean. Like to see you live in a cave in a cardboard box and keep it clean. Does look like murder, which is a first. It's been a few streams. Like a eye, I guess. Okay, so we've got some ideas. We can probably draw a few more strange experiments down here. I'm always up for strange experiments. But what's the MacGuffin? We must acquire a MacGuffin. Who knows whether we'll ever use it, but we must acquire one. Cutesy high-pitched meow. Deep voice. Hello there. Meow. Hello there, young weary traveler. Meow. The box is a cat, therefore it's the sits, the jits, and the sleeps. Lovely. And you wondered why it was slimy. The very long arms all of a sudden, Mo. My Mo, what long arms you suddenly have. Something shrimp related or hippo related? Makes sense. It must be something like... What would we be likely to find here that's going to help us later on in the story? Some sort of thing associated to the machine that's going to take all of the life energy away? Maybe there's some sort of rock or crystal here that they use in the machine and we take a bit of it. Here's a thought. How many times... Oh, hang on, I can do this. I can check this. This is something... I'm thinking... We've got this whole, like, Extinction event coming up of the magic being withdrawn and all of the mushrooms stopping living and all of the familiars losing their connections and all that sort of stuff. And what I'm thinking is... Presumably in the story, they're going to come back. Hey, miss! There's a cat in a box. This is Schrodinger's familiar. How you doing? Kitten! Have you had food, miss? Hope you've had food. And what I'm thinking is... Is there any point in the previous... Because if you recall, this whole system came from me analysing Final Fantasy stories. And I'm trying to think of another instance in one of the games where somebody dies and then comes back. I'm thinking, did I use the death symbol for that? Yeah, the only time I can think of doing it was in Final Fantasy VII. When J-Max/Kate Sith gets crushed in the pyramid. And I didn't bother putting the symbol there, so... Damn. I was thinking, like, if we come across a death symbol, maybe that's when we'll go, suddenly, boom! Everyone stops. You're eating food now! Fantastic. Chibi said a thing. It's about that you, in your brain, you just went, it's probably not spelled out that the cat is Schrodinger's cat, but the fandom figured it out and is making elaborate fan theories about Schrodinger's past, when this is one, not a real game, and two, we are both the creators and the fans. Yeah, it's, look, you have, you are analysing this from the perspective of the way you analyse all the other things that you enjoy. And that's nice. I'm also doing that. And the way I enjoy things is by thinking, does this make sense? Can we pick this apart? Saying that in the middle of your excitement really changed the meaning. Tentacles! We make up our own rules. If you want this to be a secret, who knows? Maybe there's a little thing you can do in the game, and then in a post-credits scene, right in the background in some CGI cutscene, you can see the reuniting of Schrodinger and the cat. It's really hard to see, but it's there. Tuck Schrodinger under your arm. The cat is a cat, but also not a cat. The box is a shell, but also just a box. Yeah. I also want to draw a goat man for no particular reason. That does involve me looking up goats. You thought I was bad at drawing hippos. Whew. How do you do the derpy eye? October challenge, draw an animal a day. I did that 2 years ago, and they were all horses. Definitely all horses. Draw a different animal each day. Definitely all horses under a safe for work hashtag. Yeah, you should check these things. Turns out. I'll draw my obligatory animal in a suit. It's a fixture of every draw through. Yeah, don't say you need to watch the dark crystal in front of Miss. Should the item just be a crystal of some sort so we can leave it open as to what the purpose is? That makes sense. Like I say, I think it would make sense if it's connected to the machine in some way that we somehow, you know, at some point presumably we're going to come across and stop. You'd think. Who even knows? I sure don't. Hey, guess what? There we go. Tori's cousin. The scopeman wearing a tie? Yeah, it's an animal in a suit. Every draw through, I draw an animal in a suit. It started with the ape from Forest of Doom. Although I probably did one in the Final Fantasy VII one as well. Pretty sure I drew Jive in a suit. Sometimes you have to dress up to feel good in a bad situation. So yeah, here's Goatman. They're friends. They've been keeping each other company in this strange, dank cave. Should remind us that we're in a cave. But a cave with crystals of some description, which we pluck from the walls and take with us on our adventure because the plot says we should. Go for the boring crystal designs. Same old, nothing special, apart from the fact that it's special because it's a MacGuffin. But in terms of design, you know. And little crystal clusters. Looking at it from here. Maybe these things are like residual magical energy from the whole shrimp thing that have been sort of collated by the worshippers. Well, not by the worship, but around the worshippers of the shrimp god. It's just sort of excess magic that became solid. That's another thing in Final Fantasy VII, isn't it? Weird scene, that. Cloud goes, oh, so materials are just magic then, I guess. And then everyone laughs and says, oh, you're so naive. But it's literally magic. I love that there's absolutely no cohesion between the fantasy races in this game. Mushroom people, Jaboas, sewer beavers, goatmen in suits, whatever foo is, I don't know. FF9 does that too. There's a lot of fantasy creatures in FF9. I feel like it's more obvious in 10, because in 10, almost everyone's human. But there are the Guado, who are like tree humans, and then there's the Albed, who are humans with just slightly different eyes. And then you've got whatever the hell the minstrels are. Like, they're just completely different species that look nothing like anything else in the game. And they're just there playing music. And it's like, do you ever meet any of more of you? They're also the Ronso, I guess. Line people. But yeah, it's just, yeah. They feel like they've come from another game. It's like, oh, we're here to play music from a different game. Yeah, good for them. It's just weird. It just sticks out. Just whatever we think of first, no second thoughts. That's the point. Can't plan ahead too much. F9 is fine. F9 is F9. Well, I think it is anyway. I like that game. Albert also have expanded lung capacity because why not? Oh, do they all have that? I thought it was just Riku. Yeah, you have the Ronso as well, which I forgot about. Even though one of your characters is a Ronso. Oh dear. Orders. Little spoiler for the second half of the Call of Cthulhu highlights. I use the sample of Tidus's laugh from that, and I had to edit it, which meant I had to listen to it over and over and over again. So that's in my brain now. Next symbol, or do we need more? I think now we take some crystals, right? Who's going to take the crystals? Probably Perry, right? No. While I draw this, let's work out what the next crystal's going to be all about. We have bomb. Death. Fantastic. So does the extinction event happen now? Or does Gil just stop? Just as we find some nice friends in a cave, they just turn into animals. I mean, the thing is, we're going to the city next, presumably. Next symbol? Well, the last thing that happens in this cave is we meet someone, of course. Death happens and then we meet someone new, of course. Oh, this cave is weird. Okay, I'm gonna draw Perry stealing some crystal. Why is this cave full of people? Maybe this is on the way out? We find our way out somewhere? Does it have to be someone new? Yes, that's the point of the symbol. We can re-meet anyone we want at any time. That symbol means we meet someone new. Could it not be Schrödinger coming in for their cat? Schrödinger could come in for the cat. Again, that's entirely possible. But just not now. Well, it could be now, but we also need to meet someone new. They could be with someone who is new and somehow important to the story. Well, got the death symbol. When are we likely to come up with the death symbol again? Like, I feel like we need to do this now, right? Extinction event, and we meet someone on the way to find help. Maybe. There it is. Hi, Frame Man.
Stop foisting your rules upon us, parsnips. I thought you were cool.
I mean, clearly Frame Man was also unhappy about that. So... yeah, we probably need to do this now. It feels like that's sort of how it's going to make the most sense. As much sense as it is going to make. I would have liked it to have happened in like a big, like in the city or something, I don't know. We don't control the symbols control us. So maybe that there's this big noise, like a big vibration or something. And we don't really notice anything. Nothing seems to change. But then, like, Peridot turns around to Buffy and says, "Come on, let's go." And Buffy just ignores what's happening. And we're like, "All right, come on. What are you doing?" Then we notice that Bramble also isn't paying attention to what's going on and isn't talking. It like slowly dawns on it that something's not right here. Do we see anything of the ritual, or does Gil suddenly stop and we're confused about it? Gil... oh yeah, Gil's here as well. I completely forgot about Gil. I think Gil's quite quiet anyway. They probably don't notice. Buffy just starts grazing in a cave. Yeah. Flo hops off of Mo's hat. It's just not good. Gil is frozen, Bramble's hopping around. Maybe... Because like, what do you do? You can't really carry a buffalo out of here, right? So, like, how would we... How are we gonna... Oh, I should put the symbols up, shouldn't I? So yeah, the death, I guess, here is Gil. Because while Bramble just turns into a Jerboa, Gil just stops. The one thing I am thinking of, and this is kind of Final Fantasy-esque, is that maybe Fu turns up with like a bunch of resistance people in like an airship or something. And so we have some way of getting off this mountain with all the stuff. I don't know. You bet this happens once we leave the cave and start to head back to civilization. Maybe we were on the mountain or something. Hang on, what was the other symbol? It was... Oh yeah, we meet someone. Of course. Okay. Let's tempt the buffalo over something tasty growing in the cave. Paradox like, did me taking this crystal, was that me? Did I do this? Actually, she's far too worried about why Buffy isn't following her. Okay, so what's the chronology of this thing? Sorry, Perry, I don't really know how to draw arms. Yeah, so an idea I had, if we want to leave someone behind, maybe who has the Marauders map? I guess the other group. Oh no, definitely the other group, because they were they had to save people from the fire, right? Musicians in FF10 are spirits, and that's why they look like that? Half of the cast in that game are spirits. Spoilers. That also works. We leave the cave, the magic thing happens, the resistance shows up, the other half of the party to pick us up and tell us what the thing's gone wrong. Because yeah, that makes sense. Then who do we meet? Just a random mountain person. Is it better to have someone else show up with an airship and have them bring us to the others? I guess that makes sense, but who is this person and why would they be interested in us? First they came in the bed. What's the point? New people are new resistance people because Freya isn't available to help. So many characters in the resistance that doesn't do anything. Now, do bear in mind that when it says introduce new character, that character does have to turn out to be somewhat important. Either now or later. The tasty thing is Gil. No! Buffy, stop eating Gil. Okay, so we walk down mountain. Oh, I have a picture in my head, and I do not want to draw it. Buffy munches on Gil and shrinks to the size of a mouse. Would that not be mumbo jumbo? Pocket.
Do it.
Okay, what's the chronology of this? So the first thing that we have the MacGuffin, which is the crystal. The next thing that needs to happen is the death, i.e. the extinction event. Then I'm glad I looked up. Oh no, actually I'm not glad I looked that up because it turns out it wasn't helpful. Is threatening his neck. Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. 1 bite makes you small, 2 bites makes you big. 3 bites it disintegrates your body. Wait, no, that's the Zatnik tell. I don't know what to draw. Okay. In lieu of knowing what to draw, I will do what I normally do and steal drawings I've already done. Here is a drawing I've already done. That worked out well. So they're working their way down the mountain now. I was surprised at how well it worked. I'm pleased with this. And there's some splashing here that can be for the waterfall, which is now going this way. Some MC Escher stuff going on here. It's fine. I'm a mad genius. Oops. Boom. That's the way to climb a mountain. See, this is now why I'm quite happy. Like, okay, Mo and Gil are a little bit horizontal, but Peridot on Buffy, drawing them at 45 degrees, they are now ideally suited to going down. We meet the cave dwellers, especially Schrodinger's cat, who tells us about Poison Nurse's experiments. Peridot takes the crystal. They decide they need to bring this back to somebody who can analyze this, possibly Freya. They leave the cave, then voom, suddenly Gil just stops, and Bramble starts hopping around, and Flo hops away, and Buffy starts grazing on what little grass there is, and then an airship turns up. They took lessons in mountain climbing from Skyrim horses. Yes, indeed. Okay, so they walk their way down the mountain and then just sort of off in the distance somewhere. They're just sort of... shockwave. zzz, and that's the magic wave thing. Presumably it'd be more like a sort of whoop, pew, like a sort of implosion thing. All of the magic is being sucked in. I imagine it makes a similar sound to that space bomb in Star Wars prequels that makes a nice noise. Don't know much about those films. I just know there's a space bomb that sounds good. Let's try and probably get a very scared buffalo into an airship quest. Or the easier option, build an enclosure on a mountain. Exclamation mark. Vote entire story recap in sound effects only. I don't even know what the first sound would be, to be honest. A word sound effects. Perry can just lift Buffy. That is true. Not sure what's going to happen with Gil. Quick question. Gil's big, right? But he's also a mushroom. Is he quite light? I don't know. I was just saying, Mo could probably just drag him. Not sure about the Jerboa. Put the Jerboa under the hat. Also the lizard as well. The Jerboa, a lizard, and a frog are in a hat. Get stuffed into a hat. Gil is a lightweight, yes. There is a chunky mushroom. He can be chunky and light. But only one comes out. It's the frog, strangely. All mushies are light and delightful. If you're delight, do you make things heavy or dark? Takes off a hat to find a happy fat frog. Well, we do have a death symbol, so you just eat bramble. Go. The mushrooms normally light. I don't know. They feel light. Like compared to weight for weight of, the same with meat. Well, not weight for weight, obviously. Sorry, volume for volume, I should say. Weight for weight, they are the same. Insert Limmy's show sketch. Okay, so drawing Mo from behind is easier than you'd think. Mostly backpack. Oh, she's a very spongy. It makes you wonder how in Dark Souls they hit so hard. You remember when you understood how to draw a backpack? Those eyes suddenly being all dull. Nothing going on there anymore. Just a frog. Pounch. Good old tough mush. I keep getting recommended random videos of Dark Souls on YouTube. Don't know why. But somebody has this thing where they can make any two things in the game fight. And they went, oh, let's put Andre versus a mushroom, see what happens. Two big old tough things fighting away. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting one. I'm not entirely sure who win. Mushroom. Anyway, cut a long story short. They both beat each other. They hit each other simultaneously, both fell down. And that was it. Animation they never use. Drawing faces head on is hard. Oh, you just got a notification that I went live. Yay! Did you like my description of the stream? Music is playing, but it's just very quiet. Let me turn it up a bit. Best description. Yes. How do heads work? I don't know. Clearly I don't know. Look at this. It's getting better or worse. Nobody knows. Yeah, whatever, it's good enough. Okay, so quick question regarding this whole event. Now that it's happened, we haven't had time to ramp up to it. Are Zbz the company? Did they know this was going to happen? Because I think we talked about the idea that, like, oh, they were going to use that machine to sort of take power away from, like, the robots and things and stop the uprising, but also use it for make profit and stuff like that. But they weren't necessarily clued in on Poison Nurse's whole extinction plan. Imagine they didn't know this was going to happen. Yeah. So the thing I'm thinking is, if the next part of the story is to go back and fight the corporation, are they going to want to fight? Or are they going to go, we don't like this any more than you do? Have we just skipped that whole story? I don't know. Sorry, I just thought about that. Oh, I just don't have clothes work. It's fine. Also, this perspective did make sense at one point. Turning around was going to be like the neck's going down here, and then it's like things like that. She's walking forwards. So her leg is sort of. Kind of makes sense. There's a good point we should change this around then, yeah. Imagine a lot of the lower employees don't want to fight. Also, Zibos employed non-humans that are just now doing whatever. But we probably still need to fight the capitalist, and the robots now lost their newfound humanity. Have death be a death and have the extinction be a different plot point? Might be. Maybe. I mean, maybe this was more targeted. Maybe this isn't the mass extinction. Maybe this is just our characters. Poison Nurse is like, well, if I'm going to test it, I'll test it on you. Because she knows where we are. Just point it at the mountain and go, you know? Yeah, so maybe we can lose our characters. Maybe not even Jethro. Maybe Jethro doesn't even sort of lose it at this point. But we lose Gil and Bramble and such. Dead in inverted commas. We're near her old lab, exactly. So yeah, I think it can still work if it's the. I think it can still work if it is the extension. Extinction, sorry. Even my brain didn't work that out. It's just like, I've been saying the word extinction for the past 10 minutes, but what are you, sir? I don't even... Extension? That doesn't sound like anything I've said. Oh, no. You like this as a preview, so we have a dramatic extinction event later. Maybe even this is part of the plan, because like, the business knows that we're a problem, we're a threat. And Poison Nurse is like, well, I've helped you build this machine, but hey, if you want to kill two birds with one stone, let's test this thing. Point it over there. You'll never guess what's going to happen. And Capitalist is overjoyed by this successful experiment. Not knowing, obviously, that... You like it more as a sudden wow? I don't know. We've got 8 minutes left of the stream. We can talk about this. You know, discuss whether or not we're going to go whole hog now or later. I need to draw a buffalo grazing. Oh, I wish I actually used this much reference when, you know, drawing things properly. But instead, no. I just wing it.
Good thing you draw a horse every day for a month.
Yeah. Good thing I did that 2 years ago. Definitely remember all the things I learned doing that. It's in grass, don't worry about it. Not really as dramatic a difference with Buffy. She's always looked... Because otherwise we have the risk of the whole extinction event not happening, or happening for maybe 2 symbols before it gets resolved. It needs to have some impact. I did draw that, didn't... No, oh, that was the... You sent me a thing that was like a jokey, this is how you draw a horse. And I decided to completely misinterpret all the instructions. I think I still have that somewhere. There we are. Oh, it was on the back. It was on the back of like a cereal packet or something, and you. I think it was Miss sent it. This was mine. I followed the instructions to the letter. Precisely what they told me to do. This is how you draw a horse. Just so you know. So I think we could fold into a lot of different symbols: plot, character development, death, boss fight. Yeah, I mean, we don't. It doesn't need to come under the death symbol. Like, this is what I ascertained when I looked it up, because I looked up the whole Kate Sith thing, J-Max sacrificing body and then coming back. Technically, a death of the entity you've been communicating with, even though it's not necessarily the person behind the voice behind the stuff. But yeah, that was... Oh, hang on. I've got an even better one. Better one to check than that. Can't talk about it, because spoilers. Oops. Here's all the Final Fantasy ones, if you recall. You don't need to see what one I'm looking at. I do. I do call it a death there. Interesting. Okay, maybe we do need to call it a death. This is what buffalo look like, right? Fantasy buffalo. But fantaslow. We used to get to draw Gil's jewelry. I'd be interested to see one of them for FF12 if you ever do that. Yeah, I do need to play that at some point. Comfortable with some fudging at this point, especially with all the things that are multifaceted as far as effect on the plot. Yeah, if we've written, like, the point of this is to see whether or not we could write a good story based on a randomly generated structure. If we've already written a good story at this point, having the structure tell us no is just sort of antithetical to the spirit of the thing, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, we could. I'm not going to guarantee it because I don't know. But I would be very surprised if there wasn't a mystical mumbo jumbo symbol coming up somewhere, right? General question. Why would we not do it at this point? The only reason I would say not to do it at this point is because if, like, the story we had kind of in our head, well, in my head at least, was that Poison Nurse and by extension the whole shrimp cult thing were working with the company to make this machine that would extract life power and all that sort of stuff. And that would help with the whole robot thing, and that would help with just, you know, evil company doing evil things. But the company didn't know that there was this whole shrimp cult thing going on, and that their plan was to absorb all of the magic and get it back to resurrect Shrimp God. And if they had known that, they probably wouldn't have joined in. And by having the Extinction event happening now, the company might have second thoughts and go, hang on, maybe this is a thing we shouldn't be working with. And then we come along and say, we need to stop this. The company might just go, yeah, we need to stop this. So we're not really going to have, firstly, we're not going to see the kind of backstab, which is a bit of a shame. But we're also not going to get, and the next location we were planning on being the city, which we're going back to have the confrontation with the corporation. But if they're just as screwed over by this whole thing as we are, you know, I don't know. Maybe as far as the company knows, the plan is still going? I mean, most of the people in the company have probably lost their familiars. They're going to notice something's wrong. Quite a lot of people in the company are just going to stop moving. Maybe it takes a long time. It's happened pretty quickly here. We're quite far away from... Presumably the machine is, you know, near the company. Might not be. That might be the final location of the game. Only happened to us instantly because we were the closest to Poison Death? Maybe. I mean, we have reasons. We have... This is a JRPG we're basing this off of, right? Which means that this doesn't have to make sense. So, I'm trying to make it make sense, but we've just done a draw through of Final Fantasy VIII. This doesn't have to make sense. As soon as the profits dip, they'll know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, like I say, maybe this doesn't have to be, you know, maybe this doesn't have to be, this scene that I've just drawn, maybe this doesn't have to happen at all. And maybe we can leave the Extinction event till later. I don't know. There's something to talk about. It's our first argument. It's our first argument about this story. Like, oh no, music for the argument. Angsty school noises. There are no angsty school noises. It's just ... You just like this as an ultimate low point for our characters. That's fair. But I was also hoping that our characters would be together for that. You know, I was thinking that in my head, and again, bad to make plans for this, but in my head, the ultimate low point would be, we work our way up to the top of the corporation, we beat the corporation, and we're finally actually doing something, and then Poison Nurse comes along, pulls a lever, half of everybody in the world dies, and maybe the building explodes or something, I don't know, and now Shrimp God's back, and that's the low point. The low point is we thought we were just, we finally actually solved the whole corporation thing, and nope, we've just doubled the power of the other enemy. That was in my head where the low point was going to be, but it might be somewhere else. I don't know. We just got captured by poison nurse and barely escaped. We still don't know what's going on. Now this is out. Like I said, there's lots of different ways we could take this. We've just got to sort of work out what's plausible structure. Again, the fact that we're standing here and we're saying, why would this happen before this? We can't have this do this because then the motivation for these characters won't make sense. The fact that we're talking about this already means we're doing a better job than whoever wrote Final Fantasy VIII. So, yeah, maybe we do actually have homework this time. Maybe we've actually got to sit back and go, right, where do we think this is going? For the sake of completion, for the sake of giving us something else to think about, the first thing that's going to happen in the city, presumably that's where we're going, is we meet someone new. Fantastic. We haven't even worked out who this is yet. We have to meet 2 new people. One on the mountain and one in the city. There we are. How can everybody be dying if we're meeting so many people? It's a low point, but it's probably quickly solved in JRPG structure. Shrimp God gets back, and then there's maybe one area and we beat Shrimp God. True. Your generator, it's random. It's random. I can't wait for this symbol here. This one here to be someone joins our party. That'd be great. I think I'm pretty sure the last one is plot, because I think I specifically said, hey, the last symbol's gonna be plot because we need an end cutscene. But yeah, the second to last, that's gonna be fun. But at the same time, that's probably the sort of thing I would look at when I was checking all these over and go, that doesn't make sense, throw that one away. Yeah, we need time to work our way back up. That makes sense. Ideally, the low point for the characters should be much earlier than this in the story, shouldn't it? You know, with FF8, you've got the whole prison failed assassination thing. In FF7, you've got the handing over the Black Materia to Jessiroth. These things all happen quite early. We're already getting towards the end of the game. We haven't had one yet. Our characters have been quite happy-go-lucky through this whole thing. You're not saying Shrimp God happens now, you're saying Extinction happens now. Shrimp God is just charging up or whatever. Work up to fighting them after the reveal. Be a random priest of Tal Kotal just shouting, everything's gone wrong! I've been sent to help, you don't have a choice. What about Tal Kotal? So many things in this. Also, which one of these locations is Magma City? I think it's the penultimate one, right? Must be the short place that we go to just before the end. We will go there. We've waited this long, we're going there. Okay, lots to think about. Lots to think about, lots to chat about, lots to talk about. We can probably talk about that tomorrow. Because tomorrow is not what it says there. Tomorrow is nothing. Because there is a Twitch boycott happening tomorrow. The 1st of September. Yes, September. Already. And there's a bit of a Twitch boycott happening because to raise awareness and hopefully try and get Twitch to do something about hate raids and their sort of moderation system associated with it. Yeah. So that's the thing. So I won't be streaming on Wednesday, but I do plan, if anyone's interested, in doing a little in-Discord stream. In the Purple Star Discord. To be fair, as the dad of the monsters, he has a big stake in this with most of his kids suddenly dying. That's fair. What am I going to stream? Not sure. During a conversation with Miss, it became apparent that Miss didn't realize that Dark Souls had magic in it. So it might be worth doing a quick magic playthrough of Dark Souls, because that doesn't take long. It's overpowered. Or we could just do a chit-chat stream, or we could do... I mean, it's not really a stream, because, you know, you could join in voice chat if you want. You just do whatever. We could do a stupid idea I had in the back of my head for ages, which is doing a tier list of all of the bosses in Dark Souls. Better Chaos, F. Manus, A. We could do both. There's lots of things we could do. I should probably work it out and/or have a chat with other people as to what we're going to do. But either way, we'll do something in Discord tomorrow instead of streaming on Twitch. Yeah, and then I'll be back on Saturday. You play Dark Souls and we argue plot pros and cons. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do something relaxing. Like play Dark Souls. And you guys do something stressful like story writing. That's the wrong way around, right? Oh, you don't think you'll be there tomorrow, but I hope you'll have fun. That's absolutely fair. On Thursday, I don't know what's happening on Thursday because recently, normally we'd have Chibi Hangout in Discord. But Chibi does have a new computer, so maybe there's streams. Maybe an actual Chibi Nethers Day instead of a 24-hour podcast. I don't know. Maybe neither. Maybe Chibi's got better things to be doing. I don't know. Maybe streams? Maybe streams? I'm sure my voice used to go higher than that. I don't know what's happened. Suddenly puberty at the age of 29. Yeah, so maybe streams on Thursday for the chip. I'll be back on Saturday playing Death's Door. Yeah, puberty. I've had a beard for half my life now, but suddenly puberty. Don't know what to do for stream. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, and we'll have chit chats, I'm sure, in the Discord somewhere about the pros and cons of each potential approach as to what's going to happen. Like I say, at some point it's like, you know, I had an idea as to how this story might go in my head, but the whole point of this is to not plan too far ahead and just go with it. So, I don't know. Jolly co-op can show off all the magic. I didn't think about co-op. We could do co-op. Yeah. I've never done co-op in Dark Souls. I've never had friends before. Except for Solaire. And he's less of a friend and more just a strange son botherer. Anyway, yes. So nothing tomorrow. Discord stuff. No stream here on Twitch tomorrow. Discord things. Oh, you have a Pyro on 3 with much magic. Ah, okay, I was talking about 1. Because in 1, magic is overpowered. Don't know how hard it is to get magic in the others. I mean, you could stream as well. You could share your screen while we're all there. Everybody can stream simultaneously. Who knows? Praise the sun. Good old Solaire. Yeah. So that's happening. Yes, Saturday, Death's Door. Sunday, friend stream. Tuesday, the resolution of whatever's happening in this particular point in the plot. We're finally interested enough in what's happening that there's an argument. And I think that's a good sign. Who knows how in-depth it's going to get when we start doing the second pass. But it's not a cat, that's a box. That's not a vault, that's a cat. I bought Hitman 2 the other day. It was in a bundle with a bunch of other games I wanted. So maybe we'll play that at some point. But maybe we'll also play the earlier games. And maybe we'll play Dark Souls. And maybe we'll play Salt and Sanctuary. And maybe we'll play all the horror games that we're going to play in October. Too many games. What a horrible problem to have in your life. Oh, I just have too much leisure. Hitman, Diana. Oh, if you like Diana, the story of 2. I've seen a playthrough of 2. So it's not going to have too much surprise in it for me. I'll seek out things I haven't seen before. But yeah, the storyline of 2 is there's some Diana stuff in there. Yeah. Anyway. Things. I'm gonna end the stream. Oh, you've also seen a playthrough too. Okay. There we go. So you won't be too sad, feeling sorry. What's the word? Commiseratory? Is that a word? Oh yeah, that's why you became a mod, wasn't it? Because you saw a playthrough of Hitman 1. And I was like, oh, I can make you a mod so that you can stop spoilers. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Have a great week. If I don't see you... And I was about to say, if I don't see you until the next time I see you, which is... I mean, it's not an if. That's just gonna happen. But if I don't see you for the rest of the week, have a wonderful week. Baby dinosaurs, don't talk about them. Twitch will ban you. I'll see you if you see you when you next see you will see I will you with and I on the, with the C. Goodbye.